Welcome back to the show. Now, a Montreal woman, Paula Callejas, has been detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, you know them as ICE, since April, following a domestic dispute that led to a misdemeanor charge. Her family says she was in the U.S. legally while growing her business and waiting for a visa. They've spent thousands on legal fees with no success, and they're now speaking out, fearing for her health and safety after reports of poor conditions and a recent death in ICE custody. Let's now go to the brother and sister-in-law of Paula Callejas. They join us on the line, both of whom traveled to the U.S., and we're going to withhold their name as they have some concerns about trying to travel to and from the U.S. if their name is out there. So I'll start off with the brother. Hi, bro, I'll call you, I guess. Welcome to the program, and the sister-in-law as well. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Why don't you tell our listeners about Paula, how she ended up in the U.S., what she was doing there before all this began in April?
Well, my sister had a dream to grow her business in the bathing suit and the fashion industry. She worked in Montreal for many years in that industry. And after trying to grow her business in Canada, obviously, we don't get much... we only get a few months here of the beautiful weather. So she decided, you know what, let me move to Florida and try to grow my bathing suit company there. And so she moved to Florida, tried to grow her business there, and had some great success, some great shows. Last year, she started off I think it was the Miami Swim Week. And this year, she couldn't participate because of, obviously, what's happening at the moment with her. And so she's been trying to grow her business, doing other types of, working internationally as well to try to get her brand out there.
Now, listen, I mentioned as we came back from break, right? I said in the United States, legally trying to grow her business and waiting for a visa. So yes. She didn't, how was she in the States legally before April? What was she on, a different type of visa? Just I want to know her legal status in the U.S. heading into April.
So she applied for her visa a while ago, and it was about to expire in March of this year. Mm-hmm. And what she did is she reapplied back in February to make sure she was up to date in all her documents. So essentially, she was dealing with that. I mean, I spoke to her lawyer actually yesterday, and he clarified that for us. And what she wanted to do is making sure that, and obviously I can't speak in detail because I'm obviously not involved in this case, but she was pretty much following the rules for her to be properly accepted. So she always had the option of, hey, if she needs to come back to Canada and then go back to work on that. So for the type of visa she was working for, giving her the business she's in, that's essentially what's been happening. So there were some delays in regards to that application, but she still submitted it before everything unraveled.
Now we have your wife on the line as well, right?
Yeah. Hi.
Yes.
Hi. Let me ask you just about the emotional toll here on you and the rest of the family since April, since Paula's been in custody.
Yeah, we've definitely were in shock when we got the news. We almost didn't believe it when we heard about this situation because we were told about the news on April 1st. And obviously the brother and sister have a history of pranking each other. So we thought it was some kind of weird April Fool's joke. But lo and behold, she's been in ICE detention for the last 4 months. And she just keeps moving from place to place. She's in the dark. We're in the dark. We have really no way to access her and understand what's happening with her case around the legal parameters of it or when she's going to come back to Canada, which is pretty much what we're advocating for now. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, as you can imagine, not being able to reach her and then hearing the horror stories of what's happening inside of those facilities, which is pretty much why the story came to light a few days ago. We heard about the individual that passed away in the detention center in Miami. And there's been a number of different incidents that we've heard from Paula herself about her experience firsthand inside. So, she's slowly, whenever we talk to her, losing hope. You can hear it in her voice, and, her hope and her energy levels are just deteriorating. And as you can imagine, we're scared because these detention centers are worse than prison, if you think about it. They have folks that are in there that are simply just caught in administrative,
limbo,
mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like her, where she was trying to renew her visa. She had a visa, it was being renewed. She even processed it in time. And yet she's in this situation. And they're mixed up with actual criminals, right? Like she has a misdemeanor charge, which is pretty much nothing. And we want her to have the opportunity to go and defend herself. But the justice system is very broken over there. So the first and foremost part is she's stuck in there with criminals. That's very scary.
How often do you get to speak to her? Is it just like a random, you don't know when that phone call is going to come and she's...
Yeah, we don't know. We've been fortunate that she's trying to call us at every, at least a couple times a week. So we're fortunate we are hearing from her. But you can imagine on the days that we don't talk to her, the hours that we don't talk to her, her mother, my mother-in-law, my husband and myself are very worried, right, about her well-being. Like, is she okay? And her mental health is very much deteriorating. She suffers from anxiety as it is, and it's just gotten far worse.
We're leading. It's almost 3 months, right? Almost 3 months now?
4 months.
4 months.
We're heading into 4 months, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you, and either of you can answer this question, but as far as, diplomatic channels here, Global Affairs Canada, Canadian government, has there been any help on this dossier? Have they been fighting for Paula here?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did reach out to them right after the story, as recommended by one of the representatives. They asked me, "Hey, have you reached out to them?" And we did reach out recently to them. We haven't had a follow-up question to us, but from what I heard yesterday from my sister, which I did get to speak to her yesterday, she had two visitors coming to see her, which was one an ICE representative and one a Canadian representative, where they came to offer her a change that if she wanted to get closer to Canada, they either may move her to a Windsor detention center or a Washington detention center closer to the border of Canada, which is still far away from us because it's not close enough.
And it defeats the purpose, right? She's moving into the fifth ICE detention center versus getting her out and giving her a fair trial. So, just to answer your question and add on to what husband said there is that the Canadian government has recently started to take baby steps and interject based on the news that's been highlighted over the last couple of weeks with the other Canadian that passed away. And then more recently, as we got interviewed by other media forums, I think that is the goal for us, right? The goal for us is to get the Canadian government and anyone that is in the legal justice system to help, right? Get her out, get her a fair trial, get her home safe in one piece, right? We don't want to continue to stall and wait another 4 to 6 months because it seems like there is no movement and there's no clarity around what exactly is happening.
And that's what what I'm struggling with here is like, are you completely in the dark, or have you been told anything that says there is light at the end of the tunnel and Paula will get home sooner than later? Do you have any indication on timeline?
We don't. We don't have an indication of a clear timeline. All we heard as of recent that she's been officially by a judge declared that she will be deported, which unfortunately doesn't give her a fair trial on the criminal case, as my partner was describing. That is in itself an issue, and that's where we feel that the criminal justice system and the ICE systems are not communicating, at least giving whichever Canadian is actually in a detention center, if they have a pending case, at least let them attend that case and then giving whatever happens out of that. Then if let's say they're found guilty, then all right, deport them. But if they're not, give them a fair opportunity to do whatever they're trying to do. If it's for work or for whatever reason they want to move to the U.S.
How long has she been in the U.S.? When did she move there?
Good question. I mean, she
last
was
year.
with us.
I think it was around 2020, just at the start of 2024.
Okay,
Would you
so
say that?
So this is all very recent. Man, it must be hell what you're going through. The family's going through.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
for sure. I mean, living the dream or the American dream has become a nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no desire for her to pursue her career over there after what she's gone through. I mean, they're completely treating not only Paula, but just other folks that are in the detention center who are innocent. It's just inhumane, right? Like, we hear about the circumstances and the way they're treated. And it's just very, very dark.
Yeah. Listen, I'm hoping this attention you're getting on this show, the other media attention that you're getting, gets Paula closer to coming back home. And I want to thank you both for coming on this morning.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.
Right there, the brother and sister-in-law of Paula Callejas, a Montreal woman that has been detained by ICE since April.